Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. We have something a bit different for you on today's episode. No sub-series, no pattern. Just a few ideas for you to do today before your weekend begins. Or, if your weekend has already begun, things to do first thing when your work week begins next week. The idea behind these is to improve some aspect of your life with GrapeSEED, either directly or indirectly, benefiting your teaching and, through that, the experience of your students. Number 1. Email the show. Even if you are the only teacher at a small school way out in the countryside, you are still part of our greater GrapeSEED community. You have experiences unique to you, but more than likely, your thoughts and ideas could help someone in a similar situation somewhere else. Naturally, you have your GrapeSEED coach to connect with, but this podcast can serve as a place for the GrapeSEED community to come together. If you're a regular listener, you know some of the repeat guests on this show and have a bit of a sense of who they are and their personality, even if you haven't met them in real life. You've spent hours listening to Miklos and I, and several less hours with other mainstay guests throughout our now 100-plus episodes, like Will Rice and Aaron Jones, and many others. Come join us and become part of the community. Feel free to send anything in to mailcarrier@grapeseed.com. It can be a question, a comment, your favorite episode, something you want to hear more of, or even your own personal experience so far with GrapeSEED, whether you are a brand new teacher or a long-term veteran. We highlight emails to the show on our mail carrier episodes, and some people who have sent things in have become podcast guests themselves. So make your voice heard today and send an email in, whoever you are. Number 2, remind students about the app. We all know how important REP is to the success of our students. It simply takes a long time to acquire a language. Even with the ultra-focused comprehensible input we give in class with a low affective filter environment, students need as much time as they can get with their apps to ensure their success. Even by the middle of Unit 1, you'll be able to see which of your students are doing REP at home and which are not, with the gap only getting wider over time. You might be checking REP daybooks and stickers, but are you talking about REP sometimes during your lessons? Look for opportunities to talk about it or even ask special questions. One way to do this is to reference things that are unique to the app to generate interest. Maybe you are telling the spider's web in Unit 4. At the end of your story, instead of the normal "the end," you could do your best spider voice and say, "But I wanted to dance." The kids who have been doing their REP will laugh, and at the end of the lesson, you can suggest they go home and listen to their REP and watch the end of the spider's web. I remember first starting out with GrapeSEED in a Unit 2 class. I memorized my songs by listening to the audio files, which were on the CD at the time. It struck me as odd that whenever we sang all these things in class, the kids would kick out their leg and point to themselves with their thumb on the "this little me" part at the end. I just chalked it up to a creative group of kids. It wasn't until I sat down to watch the video version that Pete does that little dance move at the end of the song. Essentially, this tip on things you can do today was something I learned from a class of 4-year-old students. They will notice all kinds of things you don't in class or on their apps. So talk about it. Encourage it.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.